Hello. Today I will be showing how you can abuse the way carpet bots are processed in order to spawn a raid faster than the game should allow you to. As you can see, this device behind me is spawning a raid every 3 seconds instead of a raid every 30 seconds, which is the amount of time it takes for the raid omen effect to expire when you enter a village. But how is this even possible? The only thing that spawns a raid is the raid omen effect expiring, and the only way to get that is to sit through this 30-second raid omen effect. What we're actually doing is tricking the game into counting down the entire 30-second counter within only a couple seconds. And in order to find out how that's possible, we need to take a look at how the game processes entities. In each dimension, the game stores a list of all the entities in that dimension called the entity list. Right now, there's only one player in the list because I'm the only player on here right now. But if we wanted to add another entity, then the game will add the entity to the end of the list. So first, the player will get ticked, and then the minecart will get ticked. So if we added 5 minecarts to the world, the entity list would look something like this. And it will tick the minecarts in the same order that they were created. So this minecart goes first, then this one, then this one, then this one, and then finally this one. But there are a couple exceptions that will break this order. For example, if an entity is a passenger of another entity, the tick list looks like this, since the pig was created before the boat. But when iterating through the list, the game will actually skip the pig since it is a passenger. And then when the boat ticks, it will tick the pig after the boat. This is because a vehicle entity stores a reference to the passenger entities. And after the vehicle entity ticks, it will then tick all of the passengers on top of it. And if you had like a stack of entities, then it would tick the bottom one first, then the one writing that, then the one writing that, and then the one writing that, and so on, until all the entities have been ticked. Because of this exception in the way that vehicle and passengers are ticked, there's a really funny trick you can do to tick an entity multiple times in the same tick. As you can see in this setup, we've got 2 carts and a carpet bot, and this cart is older than this cart. And the entity list looks like this. We got the player, which is me, the 2 carts, and then the carpet bot. Now this is where carpet bots start to differ from real players. Carpet bots actually handle their player actions inside of the entity phase. So while this loop that's running the tick method on each entity is going. So what we can actually do is have the carpet bot switch vehicles in the middle of the entity loop. So in this setup, we've got the player gets ticked first, which is me. Then we have the first minecart that gets ticked, which is this one. And then the first minecart will cause its passengers to get ticked. And then this bot has an action queued that will cause it to use, and then that will mount the next cart. And then if we take a look, we can see the second cart is next in the list, so the second cart gets ticked. And then the second cart will tick its passengers, which includes the carpet bot. So in this tick, the carpet bot would have actually been ticked twice. Now we can demonstrate this further by using a line of carts. Now I've placed these carts in the correct order, so this is the oldest cart, then this is the next oldest, and then so on. So as they're being ticked, this cart will go first, which then ticks the carpet bot, causes it to use, and then the carpet bot will mount this cart. And then this cart will get ticked, cause the carpet bot to get ticked, carpet bot mounts the next cart, and then so on all the way until the end. So if I go ahead and then make the carpet bot use continuous, you can see he just instantly warped to the end. And the funny thing is, for every single one of these carts, the entire tick method of the carpet bot has to run. And the tick method of the carpet bot just happens to include potion effects. It's also important to mention that this trick does not work for real players, because real players are not ticked in the entity phase the same way carpet bots are. So we're not actually bypassing any potion effect at all. We're just politely telling the game to tick down the potion effect faster. So this is the first thing that I tried. It's got 82 carts and works by having the bot start here. The bot goes down and then goes up, and then turns around, goes back down, turns around again, goes up, then turns around, then goes back down. And this is able to spawn a raid every 2 seconds. Now it has to be in this short tower right here, because it has to be all in the same subchunk, or else when you reload it, the order of the carts is going to be different depending on what subchunk it's in. Now this setup is really annoying to make. You have to make sure all the carts are in the right order. So this one has to be the oldest, and then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, and then so on. And all of them have to be correct. Now I would show it to you if it worked, but this one doesn't work, this one doesn't work, that one doesn't work, that one doesn't work, that one doesn't work, that's a skibbity toilet. None of these work because they all have to be super precisely aligned and all in the right order. So instead of using a loop of cards, we can use stacked cards because that's easier somehow. As you can see on the sidebar, I've got a scoreboard that shows the amount of ticks that the players have been ticked since I've started the scoreboard. And then if I click this note block, you can see the number for the cart just jumps up a little bit every time I click the note block. So as the stack carts are falling, they're falling one by one because they don't all fall at the same time. And then as they're falling one by one, the cart is able to click on the next cart in the stack. And then it just does that for every cart in the stack and then moves on to the next tick. So as I'm clicking this and as the carts are falling, the bot is just mounting every single cart in the stack every tick that the carts are falling, and then it's incrementing the timer. And we can also use a cobweb to make the carts fall slower, so that we have to push the piston up less. So we can see if I push this button, the carts are taking a long time to fall, and the counter on the right is just going crazy. Now all we have to do is add an ominous bottle dispenser, add a 3-second clock, and add a villager, and then we've got the start of a raid stacker. The only downside to using a stack of carts instead of a loop of carts is we're limited to 23 carts because of entity cramming. And that allows us to spawn a raid every 3 seconds instead of every 2. Using this technology, we can make a raid farm in 1.21 that produces 67,000 redstone dust an hour for the 1 raid per 3 second version that I have right here, or 100,000 redstone dust an hour for the 1 raid every 2 second that the cart loop was able to create. But for me, this is kind of in a gray area for what's considered cheaty or not. On one hand, it's abusing a mod that all of the target audience for this already has installed, but on the other hand, modded bad. I don't think we're going to be using this on Chronos, but someone out there might find this useful. I also wanted to say that I kind of stumbled across this on my own, and then after sharing it with some people on Chronos, Sava let me know that Andrew found out about this a couple of years ago, so I guess I can't really take any credit for it. I'll link his video in the description if you want to see it, and that's all I have for you for today. Bye bye. Now all we need to add is a bottle dispenser. What the fuck?